Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Arena Gauntlet League match. Today will be match number 16 here in the Lorwyn Eclipsed Arena Gauntlet League. And we are entering week number 4, heading back to our Shadowmoor pool, which is a bit of a chaos pool of cards, pulling from a lot of the most recent universes within standard sets. We've got the deck on our screen right now, but of an Esper tempo-y kind of deck. Not a ton of bombs necessarily, but you know, Requiem, Monolith, get some card draw. Saboteur, uncontested, can win games. Slumbering Walker is pretty good. There's some decent cards here, but there's a lot of removal, a lot of tempo plays, and it served us well in week 2 with the 4-1 record. So we're going to hope that this deck that may not be able to keep up with the current week can do that in the form of the record. So let's check out the standings heading into this week. So if we take a look at the standings heading into this week and today, we are halfway through the league, hopefully, and we are currently sitting at 9-6. So what that means is in order to make finalist for this league, we're going to have to finish at least 11-4, more than likely. 10-5 may get us in on tiebreaker if we get lucky, but we're shooting for 11-4, and anything better than that is just gravy. So we are sitting in 41st place as I go to play my first match this week. The top of the leaderboard has a couple of players that we've already played so far this league. Dark Dragons ET and Danny Brillantine were both previous opponents of ours. I want to say we won against Danny and lost against Dark Dragon. I'm not exactly sure though. Those are the top players of the leaderboard, down to a couple 11-4s, and we're sitting over there 9-6 with a very good opponent match win percentage to help us in that tiebreaker should it eventually come up. Now today in match number 16, we're taking on Caex, I believe is how you pronounce it. If not, my apologies here. They are currently 10-5, have also played 15 matches, ranked 27th out of the 230-something players in this league, and their Shadowmoor pool up to this point has gone a record of 4-1, just like ours has. They're 4-1. They're playing a Naya, kind of a Naya assertive deck here, so that's going to be an interesting matchup for our Esper tempo deck. Now, their lifetime AGL record is 174 wins and 144 losses, putting their win percentage just about 55%, kind of like mine is as well. And if you look at the head-to-head wins, I do have one head-to-head win against them all time. They have not yet beaten me, so they are looking for revenge here today. As far as badges go, I've got that one-time finalist and one additional top 16, and Caex does also have one finalist badge here too. So it's going to be a pretty evenly matched matchup here today, starting off week 4, hoping to get it off on the right foot. See you in game 1. Okay, let's get this week started here on the play. We'll play first. It's kind of slow, but we have a flyer, we have a bounce spell, we have a removal spell. I think we can draw into some stuff that will be pretty good here. 5 mythics and like 10 rares or so from our opponent here. It's a lot of mythics. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. Intrepid Tenderfoot. All right. Still no black yet, but we'll see if we can find that here soon. Ooh, Missed Land. Okay. So we're still missing black. I can bounce their creature. The thing about doing this, though, is they could just replay this next turn. It's not too much skin off their teeth. I don't want to use a removal spell on it. The question is, though, I'm not going to be using this next turn, because next turn I'm just going to play the Slumbering Walker. So I might just want to do this now for tempo. It does cycle and draw a card. And if they draw a land and play a creature, this won't be able to come down. So let's just attack. And I think I actually will do this. Alright, and that's why I didn't play the land, so that I can use the Evolving Wilds to get black here. Alright. Now next turn we got Slumbering Walker. We don't have to use it. Did find their third color, Wary Farmer, sure. Glen Alendra also pretty good. Could potentially just hold Glen Alendra up. But I think Slumbering Walker's probably pretty good here. What does it come down as, a 2/5? Maybe they remove it, maybe they don't. But that clears the way for Monolith. We've got Glenalendra for tempo here. Okay, they found 2 lands in a row here. Down goes Slumbering Walker to Swords to Plowshares, sure. And an Eclipsed Kithkin. And looks like they are pretty assertive here. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Embrace with Glenalendra is pretty good. Do I want to just get Monolith going and try to draw a card here? I can flash in Alendra, eat the Kithkin, assuming they don't have an instant speed removal spell or combat trick. Let's try it here. Okay, gain a life, play the plains. And I do believe just hold up Glenalendra here. There, Inaya could have a lot of instant speed stuff. I didn't see any priority though, so I'm going to try this. Now they are getting priority. Could just be this. Alright, looks like they'll get rid of Glenalendra here before. No? Okay, so are they playing a combat trick? What could they... There's a lot of things they could have here at instant speed. There's a Thought Weft charge. There are other removal spells, but all would have probably wanted to be used before combat, so... I mean, there's like Riverguard's Reflexes, which +2/+2. All the stuff that I see they would want to play. They do have Twin Bolt, maybe, so there are some things that could potentially get rid of this here, but it requires an extra card out of hand, so I'm just going to make them have it. And usually this late in League... They're not running cards like, you know, Riverguard's Reflexes or combat tricks or anything. So I think it was relatively safe to do that. And there's all of the creatures here. Okay. Sidisi, not too bad of a draw. It blocks something, maybe. This does threaten to push, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage next turn. We could attack for 4 right now, put them to 10, go to 6. None of that is super great. So I have 6 mana. I play this for 3. I still have 4 left. I could do Embrace and Sidisi here. Blighting 1 onto Glenalendra, maybe? Probably Embrace this thing. Let's see what we draw. I think I will still use Requiem Monolith here. Moonlit Lamenter. Does that change anything? It might change where I want to Bogslither's Embrace. So 1, 2, 3. I can't do this, and this turn, unfortunately. And I think I need to kill that now. So then in that case, I Embrace Blighting 1. I'd like to Blight onto that. I just don't have the mana to do it. targeting that, blighting onto Alendra here, and then playing a 2-drop. Not super thrilled with that necessarily, but we still have a couple of flyers. If we can untap with Alendra, we're protected against maybe a couple of non-creatures. That makes this a lot better here. Oh no, it's just +1/+1. Okay. It's not a counter. Okay, no attacks then. Looks like they're almost just like aggro Kithkin or something. Okay. Let's draw a card. So there's lots of options here. I could play Megalodon and still hold up Glen Alendra. This thing could tap stuff down, but nothing has a counter yet. And that kind of protects against removal against Megalodon with Glen Alendra. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 here. Flying is usually the way we won our matches early on. Other tapped creatures you control have hexproof. This has double strike. Okay, they can tap down Megalodon and then... I don't think we die, do we? I don't know, it's close. This is 9 right now. Is it worth chumping the Rescuer to not take 6? I don't think they have an instant here. There's a chance I have lethal on the backswing. Well, not quite. I have to they block 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's very close. If I draw a land, I might, assuming they don't have an instant or another creature. They have the other creature. I think I have to use the liminal hold on the Rescuer. Okay, so if I use Requiem Monolith, I'm at 5. I can't really use it. I could play Lament. I could like attack here. I think I can attack here. Actually, I know I can. They don't have good blocks on the Megalodon here. So I can attack with these two. They can tap down Megalodon. I play Lamenter. I'm at 6. Tap it down. They have 4 attackers. I'll have 3 blockers. It should still be okay. as far as lethal on board goes. Well, they do have this. Forgot about that thing. So tap. No, they can't do it all. Nothing has a counter yet, so let's do this. Still lets us hold up Glenalendra's activation here. Don't think I'm going to use the Monolith. Sitting at 6 life against an aggro deck. So this can get a counter, which would then make this cost 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1. They can do both of those, but it doesn't exactly progress their state here. This is first strike lifelink? Yeah. So I've got Glenalendra's activation to kind of like protect against some big or bad non-creature spell here. For example, I could use it here. I mean, my flyer might be my path to victory here, so I might just do this. They might be baiting it out, but I think while I can, let's just counter it. That is a flyer. I wonder if they did just draw into it here. Alright, no help off the top. Is it worth using Requiem Monolith here? I mean, I don't think I've got any sort of lethal. I can attack with Megalodon. They have to block it. They've got a tapper with the security. The flyer was a pretty big draw there. This is a really close game. No creatures in the yard with Sidisi. I think I attack with Megalodon. If I attack with Alendra and Moonrise Cleric, they just bounce and take 2. Neither of those are super profitable. If I animate the Fear Core and attack with the flyers and that as well, they have to block Megalodon and Fear Core. Which means 2 creatures die. Conversely, I can use Requiem Monolith on the Angel. And if they block, they take 2. I don't think I need to do that right now, though. Just debating the Monolith is the issue. That I just don't know. I might do it post-combat. I think I'm slightly safer to use it now. That they're just chumping. They do have this to get 2 1/1s. And they can, so, still no +1/+1 counter to make this thing cheaper and do that, though. Alright, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me here, but Just nothing. 3 straight lands there. That certainly didn't help. Warren Elder pumping their whole board. Okay. Could be interesting. I didn't see their... This is like an iced out kind of version or something? I don't even know. Alright, anything interesting? Dazzling Denial. That's not going to do much here. Do I have a bird? Is this a bird? It's a bat. Do not have a bird. Okay, down goes Megalodon. I kind of expected that. I don't know exactly what to do about this Warren Elder now. If they draw land, they can activate it twice, and then they're attacking with a 5/5, a 4/4 first strike. I mean, all this is pretty bad for us, so no attacks. End turn, I guess. I mean, the best thing this can do... Yeah, there's the other land, so Warren Elder can do it now twice. In fact, is this now... No, it's not lethal. I have the Fear Dock core. Because they could Starport Security, and they can't do that and that twice. So there's a lot of things they can do here. And their tapper is quite annoying against my current board. Alright, are they going for it? Oh, they can pump them post attacks, and they have 7 attackers against my 5 blockers. That's still not enough for lethal. Sure. So if I animate the 4/4 here, they're going to tap it down with Starport Security. Is that right? Possibly. Can eat the 1/1s. No? Okay. Let's do this then. Sure. Pass to damage, trade off the Wary Farmer here. They can't tap down Megalodon now. We are drawing nothing but lands. Lands and non-relevant spells here. Yeah, I don't think I can use Monolith because that makes Encampment plus Elder lethal if they can get 2 creatures past me, so I don't think that works. Just have not progressed my board in 4 turns here now, which... Alright, it's the best I can kind of do. If they pay for it, they can't activate Elder or Security or the Veteran's ability. Alright, they will pay for it. Makes sense. At least they can't do anything else here. But next turn, if I don't draw anything this turn, I think I lose. I mean, that's a removal spell, I guess. Do I have lethal? Okay, I might have lethal. So whenever this creature's dealt damage, you draw that much cards and lose that much life. Which means I attack with both of these. I use Monolith on that, attack with both of these, and then they have to take 2. They block the other one. It's dealt 2 damage, they take 2. Is that how that works? I'm hoping that's how that works. I think somebody commented on a video a couple weeks ago during week 2 where I think this works this way. They pointed it out to me, so let's see if I can have it do that. Wow, okay. Requiem Monolith can be used both ways. Not very often you get to use it offensively for the lethal like that, but that was pretty interesting. So, going against a pretty aggressive deck here. Probably going to want some more like early blockers, things that trade off relatively well early. Things like 3 mana 2/4s seem pretty good. I don't know about 2 mana 1/3s. You know, those probably are just fine. Is there anything that's particularly bad here? Card draw or life gain is going to be good, and I do have 2 Wanderbrine Preachers that could potentially become tapped for various reasons. Those might be okay as random 1-drops. I didn't see a lot of flying. This is much more defensive for us here. Temporal Cleansing seems like too clunky of a removal spell against this deck. Sidisi's a 1/3, maybe. Let's see. Saboteur on the draw. This is just going to trade with something. It's not really going to get out of hand, especially on the draw. It might still be good enough to keep in. Let's see. Unwelcome Sprite, probably not at its best in this matchup. I'm looking at things like Summit Sentinels for extra card draw. Things like this. What else would be pretty bad here now? Everything here seems relatively okay. Same with here, same with here. Megalodon I think is still fine, so I'd have to cut from down here now. I do think the Saboteur is not at its best. I think Sidisi's probably not super great here either, and then that would be 60, so maybe something like this here. Do I need to change up my mana base? More white than blue now. So maybe I can go something like this. And let's try that here on the draw. If we lose and go back on the play, we can bring back in stuff like Saboteur and a couple more slightly assertive plays. Oof. This is really slow. It does have removal. Shimmercrete not till turn 5. Does drain. I just don't think it does enough here. This one seems fine. I guess there's no guarantee I have black, as good as Nowhere to Run would be. Same with Requiem Monolith. This might be too slow now knowing the matchup, even though it was good last game. Let's try this out. The fact that they kept a good 7 makes me worried. There's their tapper. Okay, found our black. We have a 2-drop in Preacher. We have potential removal if we need it in Nowhere to Run, and here they go. I might be able to use Blowout on this next turn. We'll see, I don't know. Depends on what their 3-drop is. Is Preacher going down here? Well, I'm probably planning on attacking with this now this turn. If they play an X3, which they did, I can kill it with nowhere to run. Could also blow out this. So nowhere to run and blow out here, maybe. Does draw a card. Gets me closer to a land next turn. I mean, is this something I want to do? Because if I don't do this now, when am I paying 3 for this? Probably not very often, though. If they do play, like, again, like a 4-drop, and I just bounce it for 3 next turn and attack, get in for 2, that's probably still pretty good. Okay, I think I will save it as a result. There's 4 mana. Starfield Shepherd. That's one that gets a plains, right? Yeah. They have Anthem of Champions. There's a lot of things that they have in both green and they have Valgavott's Onslaught. Just noticed that. That's a problem. Whenever it attacks, draw a card if you control 3 or more attacking creatures. That is an aggressive card there. Expansionist is pretty good here. I mean, it trades off for whatever this is, or whatever they choose to attach that to if they want to. They could just play Shepherd next turn. I don't have removal for a flyer currently. I can bounce it, which means they get another plains, but at this point, what is an extra plains for them? Sure. Let's play Expansionist. Why are we tapping like that? At least it asks, so thank you. Then play Swamp. And then I could play Roiling Dragonstorm here, but I don't mind just doing a land or getting an extra blue. That way if I draw blue, I could play Megalodon. I think that's probably fine here. This being a 6/2 flyer is kind of a problem. Well, it's threatening to be a 6/2 flyer, but I can use Blowout on it. Let's start with Dragonstorm here then. The Cleric does trade for it well enough, as long as they're not willing to use security. I'm probably doing Blowout on that. I don't want to get rid of an island. I like Swat Away. Megalodon is pretty bad on this board, considering they have a security. So maybe it's just Megalodon here. Do I play Cleric now and just offer the trade? I think I'll get that on the board. They may not take it. If they don't take it, it's probably okay. I can just take the hit this turn, then I have 2 bounce spells here. They might just tap down Cleric too, I don't know. Sure. All right, let's bounce that back. Unfortunately, draw yet another land here. Pass. We do have Swat Away now to bounce really anything. If they play land, like Shepherd, land, Equip, I could just bounce the Shepherd again. But then I'm out of everything. I've got nothing left. Slumbering Walker, getting back Wanderbrine Preacher, holding up Swat Away on the back. Okay. Yeah, not too bad. Could get back the flyer if they trade too. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Now I get back a flyer. So let's take action. Get back the flyer here. That was a pretty good draw. Swat Away only works for attacking creatures here. They got a lot of lands, but they have a lot of good cards they could draw. Again, Valgavoth's Onslaught for like 6 or something would be miserable here. Divert Disaster. That kind of protects against Onslaught a little bit. They're going to use Security. Okay. If I use Swat Away right now, this pushes them to 3. I get another creature back on the end step here, and I can still... Yeah, I think I'm going to push... Is it when it leaves? No, they do it from their graveyard. I think I'm going to try to push the advantage here. Can't imagine they're going to want to draw that again. So this pushes them to 3 life. I get back another creature on the end step. And I have a counterspell for potentially something big. I don't know what that could be. Won't be that. And there we go. Man, all right, some tempo. We got the win in the first match of the week. Okay, and that win moves us up a little bit, here up to 30th place with that record of 10-6. If we can somehow win the next 4 and finish the week at 14-6, I mean, as of right now, we'd be in first place in the entire league, but I'm sure that will change by the time I get through the rest of my 5 matches here. But a win to start is exactly where we're going to want to be. You can see Caex a little bit lower than us there at 32nd. Now they are also 10-6. We've got that same record. And week by week, day by day, all you can do is hope to win and then just keep on going from there. We are now a 10-4 record away, hopefully, from being able to final this league. Let's see if we can keep it up going into the next match. That'll do it for this one, and I'll see you next time here at Daily Draft.